What is going on, Wolfpack Savage here? In today's video, we'll be breaking down and analyzing viewer-submitted duo gameplay. Now, in this oversimplified series, we're going to be breaking down everything that this team does and showing you guys the rights and the wrongs that either this team does or the enemies that we kill. But before we get into the video, if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel right now. We are closing in on 100,000 subscribers, and also leave a like on the video. Let's get this video to 1,500 likes. And lastly, if you want to have your gameplay analyzed on the channel, make sure you upload a recent match to YouTube and submit it through our Discord page. But without further ado, let's go ahead and dive into the video. All right, but here we are spectating my dude Seb and his teammate CJ, and they landed to Storage Town. Now, Storage Town's a great spot to land just based on rotations itself. You can go any which way as far as how to get out of this compound, and usually you'll have some other players land here also. Now, the only downfall to landing and looting Storage Town is the fact that you have to hit these random coveys that are so spread out, and it could be a little time consuming. But these guys realized that. They went ahead and grabbed the scav. Thankfully, no one else landed on it, surprisingly, and now it shouldn't be that hard to get what they need. And again, based on what you want, where you want to land at, a lot of people are always like, Savage, where do I land at? I want to get good kills. I want to get good wins, blah, blah, blah. If you're chasing down kills and trying to get aggressive gameplay, you definitely want to land somewhere around the airport area, just because that's the best rotations and that's where most of the players in the lobby are going to be at. Now, a lot of people think downtown is going to be your most active, and sometimes it's pretty active, but again, most of your players are going to be airport, hangars, Superstore, Storage Town, everywhere, Boneyard, things like that. So this is the kind of area, the circle you want to be in, and then rotating out of this area, going to the east side of the map is relatively easy also. But you guys want to play passive, and that's fine. Everyone has their own play style. You want to stay away from this area, right? You want to land somewhere, farmland, quarry, shit like that, where you can still get a couple kills, still chase down some people, military base, things like that. It's a little passive, but still get a few kills, and then you can base rotations off of that. Now, I love when the circle ends somewhere on the east side of the map, because the hills, the elevation, the rotations are amazing. And you can really sneak up behind unsuspecting enemies. But regardless of me rumbling my mouth, going on and on, here we are now. We have sitting on $17,000. We have an enemy ping somewhere. We've got 2 shots fired on minimap to our left-hand side. I would assume they're fighting each other. So this is a perfect opportunity for our squad to go in and get a nice, easy third party. Again, you gotta watch the cubbies. So check your right, check your left. We didn't check our left, which is very, very concerning. And we have an enemy come up behind us as well. Teammate trying to get a ping off, but unable to because the enemy moved. Beautiful. Now, oh my God. That's what he said. Look, what did the enemies do wrong? They pushed from the same area. Now, I tell you guys all the time, when you're in a fight, you guys need to hit the enemies from different locations. Put pressure on them and make the enemy be confused by changing his firing pattern, right? What we did right there, and let's just hit the rewind real quick. What they did right there is just lined up for us. This is not a collateral, but basically the same concept. Don't do this. If you're in a duo and your teammates right here, try to, I don't know, hit us from behind, come up from behind us, or go over the top of the storage containers. Again, lining up like this is just extremely easy. You get the one knock, and then literally right next to him is his teammate. We don't have to divert. We don't have to adjust our aim. We don't even need to be accurate. All we have to do is keep looking at the area we've been looking at. This is a huge mistake that I would say a vast majority of players make in this game. So make sure you guys are hitting from different angles of approach. Oh my God. All right, but here we are now, fully played it up. Again, we got to get our loadout now. The team we just killed, they were shooting at someone else. So I love the fact that we're sitting here looking for that other team. They realize that. They're trying to analyze their surroundings and figure out what the hell is going on. Oh no! Yep. Great prone. Kind of questionable why the enemy didn't continue shooting at you. I'm pretty sure your feet were still exposed. I love the fact that we're plating. We go out there to help our teammate, and just like that, 2 angles of approach. Granted, he was trying to shoot our teammate in the back, but because we weren't up our teammates, it wasn't an easy double kill for this guy right here. We came up from behind him after plating up and got a beautiful kill. Remember, you want to stay close to your teammates, but you don't want to be holding their pockets. Oh, also, guys, make sure you leave a like on the video. I'm a Dallas Cowboys fan. I need all the attention that I can get. Leave a like. All right, we have a vehicle coming in to Storage Town now. Instantly reading that. And he's got the most warning, he's going to just drive off. So great attempt trying to take him out of the vehicle. But again, don't forget, we need to get a loadout. Beautiful. Here's, you read my mind. You read my mind. Now look, the reason why I'm saying that, oh, he's realizing this and noticing this, is because that's a pretty big deal. Most players don't pay attention to the mini-map. And the second that vehicle popped on the mini-map, he was already diverting him and his teammate to that area to get some shots off on the vehicle.
Well, pick up the, oh shit, you don't have enough fire up.
Yeah.
And rocking the Grawl. Okay, okay.
There. Buy yourself self-revive too.
So far, I really haven't seen them make any drastic mistakes yet. They've handled the fights pretty well.
Go for more.
And even though it's viewer submission, if I see something wrong, I definitely want to correct it, because again, that's the point of the series. Now we do have a team coming up to the pool house. We went ahead, saw that on the big map. We're gonna go make our way over there. They're actually spread out. All right, they're rotating now. So now that they're rotating, this would be easy to catch them in the open. So instead of just going to their location, like beelining for the blue mark, the blue ping, we need to go ahead and just try to get a good position. Now, you don't want to sit on this hill because you're extremely vulnerable, but at the same time, you kind of do. What I mean by that is there's a house right here to the left-hand side, which you could play, but you're not going to have a good angle on the enemies who are rotating up to the gas station area right now. So your best bet is to get this hill. Granted, you need to be aware of what's around you. Look for glints. See if anyone's shooting at you. And if so, bail off from it. It's not worth dying for a possible double kill. So again, I would definitely make my way to this hill, try to get some shots off on the enemy, or maybe even kind of make my way to the silos to get the shots off on them as well. Now, the first teammate will probably make it before we can get an angle on them. And again, make these judgments as you're seeing the minimap pings update, right? So the enemy's at the silo right now. This is going to be very easy for us because he's in a horrible position. There he is right there. Again, the first teammate already made that. We might be able to get some shots off. All right, probably a good decision. We were a little bit behind, not our fault, but the enemy was just, he made a better path to the gas station. So instead of firing at the enemy, alerting him that we're coming, he was patient with it, didn't shoot at the enemy, and now we're going to hopefully hit him by surprise. And I love the fact they have the UAV in the air. They had another one in reservoir, and here we are right here, boys. Again, patience is a virtue. The moment we start shooting this guy, he might sit in there and camp, and then we have to worry about his teammate pushing us to the left-hand side. And then when we divert our attention to his teammate, we're going to get shot from the guy that's camping in here. Unfortunately, it looks like he's just going to camp no matter what.
One of the guys.
Never mind. There he is. All right. All of a sudden, a teammate's coming by. We've got our teammate suppressing him from behind. And I want you guys to notice again on the mini-map, look at the read right here. We've got orange hitting him from one way. We're going to come up from the front side of the enemy. And no matter what the enemy does, unless he's got absolutely good at movement, it's going to be very hard for him to outplay this double kill. Or not double kill. This 1v2. Sorry. Long morning. Again, remain close to your teammates, but don't hold their pockets. This isn't prison. Also, if you guys are looking for any type of boost in energy during gameplay, during work, or even workouts, sneak energy, guys. I'm telling you right now. Use code SAVAGE at purchase. It's just the truth. I'm 32 years old, and I got energy like an 18-year-old. Come on, man.
UAV entering the AO. In Superstore.
Yep, ground floor.
No, but all jokes aside, this shit's actually bomb. I'm not even lying. Savage, stop shamelessly plugging your shit. Sorry, I can't help it. I'm addicted. So we got a team sitting here in Super. Might be, yeah, they're on the bottom level right now. And again, you can tell, again, for the newer guys, and a lot of guys are like, Savage, stop telling us shit. We know. There's a lot of people that just started playing this game. Stop yelling at me. So basically, guys, when reading a UAV, when reading the minimap, if you see a red dot with, that's it, just a red dot, that means he's on the same level, the same elevation you are. It's got an arrow above the red dot. That means he's elevated above you. He's on the second floor, the third floor, the fourth floor, like that. And vice versa. If the arrow is below the red dot, that means he's below you. He's in the basement. He's under the map. Who knows? Especially nowadays.
UAV is bingo fuel. RTB for resupply.
Now, playing Superstore.
Got one broke right here.
Oh. All right, good from the teammate. Now, what we did wrong right there. So what I was gonna say is playing Superstore is kind of a let's just be honest, right? So because there's so much cover and so many different paths you can take without Superstore, you break the enemy's armor, you start shooting at the enemy, he can end up running and just vanishing. You can't find him, like we did with that enemy right there. We broke his armor. We ran on the register to see if we could find the enemy, and nope, he wasn't there. Instead, he was shooting at our other teammate, and our other teammate was forced to be in a 2v1 situation. So I always say, you guys, don't hold pockets, stay close together. When you're in an area like this, especially Superstore, you can by all means run and do your own That's awesome if you can do that. That's definitely the preferred method. But if you guys are struggling a little bit with your solo gameplay, you might not hold the pocket, but stay relatively close to your teammate. That way, if he does end up in a 2v1, you could be there right away to help him out. And I also love the fact that while we're plating up, we're moving towards our teammate and towards the enemy as well. I see too many times people start plating up, they sit in a corner and they hide and they're like, I don't want to die. And that's it. Next thing you know, their teammate's dead and they have to 2v1 themselves. So again, if you can move safely towards your objective while plating, you need to make sure you do so.
You got both of them?
Again, the whole concept in any BR is to keep a tempo, right? Now, you can sit on a roof and hold a position, you can control, you can gatekeep, you can do things like that, but if you're trying to get aggressive gameplay and go for kills, you need to keep your feet moving at all times. The moment you freeze up and you fall into that pattern, it becomes more of a habit and you start losing that momentum and that tempo.
Okay. Our next guys are over here.
And like I've always preached, guys, UAVs win games. UAV, everyone's always like, how do people drop 20 kills? How do people drop 30 kills? How do people drop 40 kills? Now, I can't answer the 40 kill thing. These guys aren't human. But if you guys are going out there to get kills, UAVs. UAVs. Stop buying things you don't need, like precisions and cluster strikes in the middle of the game or the beginning of the game. Cluster strikes and precisions are awesome if you have extra money and you ain't got nothing else to do with it, or you have a quad squad going on and one of you guys want to have it, or it's an in-game situation. That's fine. I don't want to hate on those streaks, but again, if your goal is to hunt down more kills, if your goal is to get more aggressive, if your goal is to fight, UAVs is the only way.
All right, I'm gonna put mine up.
Also, for those of you that give a shit,
They rotate.
the new sneak flavor. Savage, stop it! You're getting ridiculous. I'm sorry. Look, new sneak flavor comes out Friday. Stop yelling at me. Actually, it comes out today because that's when the video goes live. New sneak flavor today, boys. Go to the website and purchase it. Use code Savage. Fire.
My PlayStation.
All right, so we have one guy on minimap. If you notice minimap, it looks like there's one guy in warehouse. Granted, it's hard to tell when it's on the edge of the minimap. They could be further away, but that's the moment we need to pull up your big map. If you're not really sure where the enemies are actually at, again, be careful of the edge of the map because it just shows the pings, not their exact location. This is where you need to pull up the big map to kind of read the situation. Because what I'm assuming right now is that you have a duo right here, and you might have an enemy team inside this hangar or the next one, or he may be up the mountain far away. We don't know. But again, pull up the big map to kind of analyze the situation, because the last thing you want to do is dive in on this 2v2 fight and end up getting third partied by a team that was actually on the UAV.
Yeah, they're gone.
It actually sounds like they're in a fight right now. I think that's exactly what happened.
Getting the high ground.
I respect the higher ground. It's gonna be a little questionable though, because your teammate's in a 1v3 right now, maybe a 1v4, depending on if the third squad has a duo with teammate with the Ghost on. So this is kind of questionable. Definitely not against it. I've done this play a lot of times. Holding the high ground is good, but I think I'd want to be with my teammate in this fight just in case he does get knocked. Because if he does get knocked, which is it's a huge possibility, because again, 1v3 or 1v4, he does get knocked, you could be closer to him to actually get the res off. If for some reason he gets knocked and you're up here, it's going to be very hard for us to get our teammate to try to provide any kind of cover. All right, so this right here, target prioritization is one of the most important things in this game. So we're taking shots at a sniper with a Graw. Now the Graw is an accurate son of a bitch, no doubt about that, but I wouldn't feel too confident taking on an efficient sniper. Most snipers can get headshots. There's very few snipers that are just terrible at the game. So again, I really wouldn't challenge them at this distance with the Graw, because our time to kill ratio compared to theirs is terrible. 2, he is the enemy that's furthest away, and he's also the enemy that's not on UAV. So if you notice the ping, we ping right where the enemy's at, this little area back here. And if you look at the mini map, that ping is over here. So that means we have 1, 2, 3. This guy is somewhere around the front of the plane. So the last thing I would want to do is challenge that guy. And yes, you might be like, Savage, he was glinting at us, bro. He's looking straight at us. That's fine. But again, the moment I saw that, I would have jumped off the roof and tried to push the guys in the warehouse to help my teammate out. What we're doing right now is we're just revealing our position, not only to the guy we're shooting at, but to the other 3 enemies as well. And it can also alert them that they may be being pushed by our teammate from behind.
Beam the shit out of that dude.
Teammate gets 1 down. Good brother. Tearing it up in there. We got 2 guys running out in the open right now in front of the plane. They're actually fighting the guy we were sniping at earlier. We could push the back of the plane and get some shots off. No need to. We're gonna third party this asshole. Unfortunately, not be able to beam him. He was able to make it to the, what is those, carts? He was able to make it to the carts and use that as some kind of cover. But we do have one more teammate of his somewhere by the plane area. He may have gotten killed by the sniper we were looking at earlier. He may have rotated the buy station. Don't really know. But definitely as you're running over there, you need to be checking the plane, checking the crates next to the plane, making sure they didn't sneak you. Never assume in this game. If you assume, you'll get headshotted 9 times out of 10. Trust me, it happens to me all the time.
Destination marked.
I try to cut him off.
All right, so right now, I'm not sure what we're in. A 1v2v1. We have no idea if the bounty, who was the guy we were shooting at, the sniper, we have no idea if he actually was able to kill that dude's teammate. He's actually just making a run for it. Now, I don't mind the fact that we're chasing him.
Already running across. I can see him.
I don't mind the fact that we're chasing him. The only issue I have with it, again, is we have other enemies over here still with our teammate. And as you can see, he's actually starting to shoot at them also. So this is the moment you decide what you want to do. There's a lot of risk versus reward here. You have the bounty, you get money from it. It's awesome. He's going to be very vulnerable, which is awesome. There's really no wrong answer on what to do, but 2 things to be aware of. 1, if you go to shoot at this guy, you're going to be out in the open with no cover, and you have the possibility of being sniped from any of this area and anywhere else in 360 degrees around us, right? 2, if for some reason this guy happens to be a goated ass sniper and you start shooting at him with the Grawl, again, the time to kill on the Grawl is not the greatest of ARs. It will take a little bit of extra ammunition to get the down, but if for some reason you miss some shots, you don't do enough damage, he's able to just turn on you and get that headshot. Again, no cover, you're vulnerable to not only everyone else on the map, but to the enemy you're shooting at also. And actually 3, there's 3. What if your teammate goes down again? So again, there's no wrong answer. I'm not against you doing this. I do this all the time. I understand it, but those of you watching the video, be aware of the different risk versus reward factors when you're going in a fight. Because his teammate CJ is clearly able to handle his own, he's been able to go in and dive into 1v2s, 1v3s, and actually handle it up. I'd feel pretty confident with my teammates to be able to do that as well. And again, this guy is going to be in a very, very awkward position, but he may get away just because we're not moving to him fast enough. And here we are getting sniped at now. There he is. There she is. And his cover versus ours is way different.
Down.
Now, I'm going to be honest. I'm not really sure why the enemy decided to run away. He had a sniper. We saw the glint.
Behind us.
He had an AR. He's shooting at us. Why did he turn his back and run? We only hit him like 3 times, right? That was a little questionable. If you're in a position like that.
Disabled.
All right, good knock. If you're in a position like that, say you're in the enemy's position, the one with the sniper, and you're behind some rocks and stuff, try to fight it out. Do not leave cover to turn your back to the enemy and just pray. That was, he literally signed his own death warrant. As far as the vehicle, there's really no strategy for that. If you drive and it gets disabled, it is what it is.
I hope that guy's got ammo.
I think that's the guy I killed.
There it is.
There we go.
Now, as far as covering the new map, and a lot of people have been DMing me, asking me what I think about it. I love it. I think the more vibrant colors, it's nice. It's very easy on the eyes. The sun isn't crazy bright like it used to be. You can actually look up into hills and see shit without being blinded. It still has bright spots like this, but I love the darkness of it and how the greens pop and the colors pop. It just makes me feel a little bit more like Blackout, and it's easier for me, at least, to be able to spot enemies. I have heard vice versa. I've heard other people, other players say the exact opposite. They hate it. They can't see shit. I actually love it, and I love what they've done with the terrain. There's a lot more cover, a lot more ridges, a lot more tunnels, shit like that. Or not tunnels, but trenches. It's real nice. All right, you gotta shoot at them. Yeah. Now, as far as the enemies, they didn't know we were here. It was what it was. They were getting shot at from a whole other team, which we need to be analyzing right now, trying to figure out where those suppressed shots were coming from. But there's nothing they can do. We happen to be on the hill they drove to. It is what it is. Just luck of the draw, right? But again, if you see an ATV drive next to you, you better shoot at it. There's no reason not to. I don't care if you're camping in the bush. I don't care if you're laying on a rooftop praying to the COD guys. I don't give a shit what it is. If you see an ATV, shoot at them, because it's so easy to get those kills. So easy. I'd rather shoot at an ATV than a person on foot. It's like shooting fish in the barrel. All right, here we are. Again, they've analyzed the fact that there were suppressed shots shooting at them as well. Could have been the guy on the back of the ATV shooting, but better safe than sorry.
I don't think I want
Right below us, we've got 2 teams or 2 solos fighting each other. We get the knock, and instead of cleaning up the knock, we go for the other player. It was great on our part. Again, guys, there's multiple targets. Stop focusing on the guy you knock and trying to get to execute. Transition to the guy that's still alive. That way he doesn't shit on you when you're executing the teammate. Which brings me to my next point. Let's hit the rewind real quick because that was funny as shit. So, if there's an enemy knocked and you're being shot at from another location, what do you do? Pop quiz. Answer the question in chat. You don't do this. This is what you don't do. So, the guy's knocked, right? This guy didn't even knock him. He should know that there's other enemies, not the fact that he can see the tracers coming from the left-hand side, but simply the fact that Kill Bill didn't knock this guy. So that should set red flags in his head like, holy shit, I should start shooting the guy shooting in our direction. But no, instead, he executes the enemy and gives us the kill faster. Weird, right? Weird. Why would you do that? I don't care, dude. I don't care if it's your first day playing. I don't care if you've never played before. I don't care if you played Farmville your whole life and then you jumped into the game for the first time. That's just common sense. Come on, man. Now, going for executes in a long range fight, that's a whole different scenario. But in an immediate combat, when come on, no, don't do this shit. I'm not explaining that again. Don't do this. That's dumb.
There was 2. One of them was not an instant.
Listen to that, boys.
They were fighting.
Listen to that if you can hear him. I don't know if you can or not. He said there's 2 of them. He was not an instant. They were fighting someone. There's got another guy over there. Again, analyze the situation. We got a knock. He needed to be executed. The enemy may not be here, but be on alert, because if he is and you assume he's somewhere else, he's going to shit on your throat.
I'm gonna go loot the corpses.
Alright.
Now, while looting, I'll definitely be scanning the area as well. I wouldn't want to stand still for too long right now. All right, we can see the sniper shot right there. There is your boy's teammate.
I saw where he was.
By TV station there.
No, he's
All right, so in a position like this is a terrible fight for us. This is a terrible fight for us. If these 2 players were on equal skill level, the guy on the high ground would destroy us easily. Would destroy us. So that's where it comes into play. How good are you compared to the enemy, right? But if you're in a situation like this, what I would want to do is get by the tree behind us. I'd play that tree and use that as cover, because this hill right here, this mountain, whatever you want to call it, these rocks, that's not cover at all. Even if you put your body against it, sticky like that, he's gonna be able to see you and kill you. Granted, he can still do the same thing with the tree, but at least you can work that by moving your body around the tree. So back away from the hill, give you a little bit better vantage point on the enemy, and also you'll have that cover from the tree.
Oh yeah, I heard it. Bit above me.
He's down.
All right, he's gonna self-res, or his teammate's gonna be up there, but make your way to the enemy regardless, because even if he does pop that self-res, the closer we are, the faster we can kill him before he can play it up.
I only saw one, so maybe.
And again, that could be your boy's teammate we were looking for earlier. Even though he got knocked, he might have a self-res.
Got him.
And he was...
Fucker must have self-res.
Yep, yeah, he had a self-res. All right. So, I mean, we're sitting pretty right now. We got 8 kills. I would assume our teammate probably has somewhere around 8 kills as well. I wasn't really counting, but based on how much destruction he's been doing on the map, I would assume we're somewhere around 16, 20 kills with 39 players left. 16 kills.
Between the 2 of us. We both have 8.
Hey! Yo! What are the odds of that? All right, so...
What I said about getting easy
Wow.
lobbies.
The timing is impeccable. Timing's
I don't know if this is an
impeccable.
easy lobby though.
No, we just seem to be steaming through it.
We're playing 2 different, you know, we're playing aggressive, but we're playing smart, playing different angles and shit.
Damn, bro! Are you from the future? Did you watch this video after I posted it? What the hell?
As I came behind him.
Yes. Oh, we got enemies looting us on the left-hand side. High alert going off. We got the enemy on the hill too. Be careful, out in the open. Out in the open. Look at this guy. Come on, man. No. Come on. If you're going to be shooting at anyone, be next to something. So if you get shot at, you can crouch behind it. You can drop behind it. You can sidestep it. Something. Don't do this shit. Come on, man. This game's been out way too long for people to still be standing in the open shooting targets.
One top's down. One down here.
Put plates in.
Now, again, same situation with us. All right. I'm slaying the guy on the hill. I'm about to slay you. All right, bro. Look, Seb, Position like this, yes, you got the easy knock. He may have self-res though, and again, it looked like he had a sniper, and that thing, when he shot it, big ass cloud of smoke came out of it. So I would assume he had a sniper, and even if he doesn't, AR, SMG, doesn't matter. He can still kill really fast. Now, we are in a position where we're out in the open. The enemies have cover now. And the guys behind the tree or the rocks, whatever, and this guy's going to play this ridge, I would assume, if he has self-res. This is not an area I'd want to be at. I would make my way to the tree. I noticed a lot of people, they'll sit there in their scopes and they'll pop that reload. Instead of sitting in your scope while you're popping the reload, pop the reload and move to cover. Again, the more you guys start paying attention to what's around you and jumping from cover to cover, the better your fights will be. Just like the guy we downed right there who was not paying attention, was sitting out in the open. Look how easy it was for us to down him, as opposed to his teammate who's hiding behind cover. And his teammate, as far as him, even though he's not shooting at us, he's actually the most scary player on the entire squad because he's got cover. You see his foot right there. So the enemy teammate did not have self-res, so that's the reason why he went and bailed from that area and turned his back on us to fight. Stop doing that! Even if you're in a 2v1, let your teammate die. You gotta outplay that situation. If you know that to get to your teammate, there's a huge probability if you get shot in the back and dying, don't do it. Try to outplay the situation. But Savage, I don't want to die and I don't want to lose the game. Well, guess what? If you turn your back to the enemy, you're gonna die. At least you'll have a chance of getting a knock, getting a kill, maybe even getting both the kills, or at least practicing a 1v2 situation so you can be better at it. Too many times people just give up trying to get their teammate because they just don't think they can do it themselves. Some of you guys will surprise yourselves. You might not have the capability of 1v2 right now, but if you put yourself in situations and you try your best at it, you will evolve. All these goated players, all these top tier players, they weren't just goats in the beginning. They practiced and practiced and practiced and played and played and played and put themselves in positions that forced them to learn how to 1v2, 1v3, 1v4, things like that. I mean, we're not even gonna go over this. He's got so much damn money, buy whatever the hell he wants. He can buy 19 self-reses, buy 30 loadouts, whatever. Possibilities are endless. Got Oprah Jr. over here. Jesus. I'm gonna pop that advance, baby.
Here's an extra one for you.
Oh, I grabbed one.
Oh. Okay.
What?
Yeah, go ahead and use it, extend it a little bit, and roll out. All right. Now, pull up the big map. Where do we go? What do we do? Possibilities, man. All right. So there's two options that when I look at this circle, when I look at this map, there's two options to what I would want to do. Now, before I make a move, before I really determine my plan A and plan B, I want to wait for the circle timer to go to 0. I want to wait for the circle to close in for 20 seconds, right? That way I know where the next circle's at. Don't make a plan and go with it right now, because if you do, your plan will instantly change in 20 seconds. So there's two things I look at right now from where we stand. We've got a lot of kills over here, which will be awesome. And we've got a few kills over here. Now, these guys are more spread out, but they'll be easier to bounce from one team to the other to the other. So it'll be easier fights. Here, a lot of people camping, a lot of people hiding in buildings, a lot of people prone in bushes, things like that. So when I look at this circle as what it is right now, I want to be where these guys are. These guys got a good spot, right? Work your way up the ridge, get in the hills, kind of keep your eye on things, because even if the circle rotates here or here, you're in a good spot to rotate with it. Let's say we go to quarry to fight these guys, and then all of a sudden the circle jumps over here. It's still not an impossible task to go this way, but we now have to fight everybody trying to make it safe to the next zone. We'll have to worry about these guys gatekeeping us, these guys gatekeeping us, and all of these guys possibly gatekeeping us as well. So again, wait to 20 seconds. Let's see what happens.
Here.
Let's say there's one guy there.
Yeah, let's get yellow.
Probably sniping. Probably sniping.
Probably.
Now that's just from a positioning standpoint. If you guys want to go for kills, do what you want. Want to throw that in there real quick. All right, so we're actually making a good rotation right now, but we've only got one ping on the mini-map. You got to be very careful about that one ping, because again, he may have came back from the gulag and his teammate might have ghosts. So be very careful how you push this guy. And again, I want to see you practice bouncing from cover to cover a little bit more. I've noticed a few times recently we've been getting in fights out in the open, and definitely don't want that to happen again. And judging by this area, there's a lot of cover, but I believe there's a hill to our left-hand side right here. If he makes it there. Okay, we down him, never mind. But still, worry about his teammate. He might be on the right-hand side, so we need to be glancing on the right-hand side. He may already be at the hill, but definitely, again, here we are in the open. Go to the trees.
Somebody flashed us from up top.
There's the enemy right there next to the rock. Oh, no. And we go down with lack of cover, but fortunately, our teammate, different position, different angle of approach, was able to blow through him. So it ended up working out. But again, as you're about to get in fights, even if you're just navigating and you don't think anyone's around you, try to stay near cover for sure. You don't want to be in a position where you're out in the open, because that's basically what's going to happen most of the time.
that cluster strike.
All right, definitely. I would definitely go to that one as well because they're gonna have to move in.
I already got ammunition.
They got to cross a wide open area as well. I wouldn't say wide open, but it's pretty open. This would be a nice gatekeep if we can move before they do. And a lot of players in this game will sit there on the edge of the circle until they're forced out. So I would definitely start rotating in. But it actually looks like, according to the minimap, that they're moving out. Yeah, they may make it to this building before we can. My dude's sitting on 20 kills right now. Let's go, boys.
I just fucking pinged him.
All right, hopefully they're not inside, but I think they are. Oh no, they're not. They're lagging behind. You just saw them behind the hills. There he is in the ping. And again, guys, that comes with tempo. Stop playing games. Stop waiting for the edge of the circle to force you out. If they would have rotated this building first, we would have died. We'd be gate kept. We wouldn't be able to rotate out or in or anything because they would have the entire building to play. And yeah, that would have been a hard fight for us, but because they were delayed in making a move and they were playing passive, it didn't work out. Now, be careful sitting this close to a window, boys. You know what I say? Back away from windows or your head's gonna get popped off.
There's a red mark here. They're right in front of me.
Oh, no, you're right. My bad.
All right, the enemy's gonna be coming up. Other enemy teammates are more to the left-hand side. To be focused more on the left-hand side. He's on the lower ground. There he is right there with the ping. Beautiful, beautiful. Now, I do love the way your team's operating. I will say that, bro. You're more of like a ranged high ground player, which I am too. So I'm not going to slay you on that. Everyone's got their foreground. I'm more of a ranged high ground support type player also. And then your teammates are more in your face, aggressive player. That's an awesome combo to have. That is yin and the yang, bro. That's just being in sync with your squad. So I love seeing that. Every fight y'all have gotten in has played out that way. Back at hangars, you on the rooftop, your boy went into hangar and blew everyone away. Same thing with this fight right here and the other fights before where he got knocked on the hill by that one guy. So yeah, I've seen a pattern with your gameplay. Definitely stick with this, right? If you find a gameplay that works for you, don't change it up trying to get more kills and things like that, especially when you're doing so well and you and your teammate are just vibing together. I love to see this.
No,
Everyone always asks me, Savage, what role should I have in my squad? Whatever role is comfortable for you. Don't force yourself into a position that you don't think you can deliver on or that you need to practice months and months in order to do.
They higher than us?
Watch this. I'm going to go ahead and assume that our boy is going to play a long-range support player in this, and then Orange is going to push in and get aggressive in his face.
Broke all his plates.
I'm going to say that, but it's not what's going to happen.
One down.
There it is. All right. So we didn't play how I thought I was going to play, but regardless, again, hitting him from two different angles. And I want you guys to look at something real quick. So the reason why I always say hit them from different angles isn't just to confuse them and to make the enemies do this to fight both of you at the same time. It's also to ruin their cover. So notice that Orange shooting at the enemy right now, and the enemy hides behind the left side of the tree. But for the enemy, it's protecting them from Orange. So they're safe. Little do they know, Joe Blow, Mr. Blue, my dude Seb coming around the left-hand side. Oh, what cover do you have, little boy? What cover do you have? Boom. That's it. I got way too hyped for that. I'm sorry. But there's so many reasons why you guys need to have different angles and matches right there. This match analyzes two of those, and I love it.
Is that gas moving?
Yep.
Fuck.
Gas is moving out, and we're not gonna. I don't really think we need anything though, do we? No, we're good. We got gas masks, we got plates, we use a little bit of ammo, but nothing serious. We're sitting pretty. Sitting pretty. I wouldn't stress. Now, we need to somehow get our asses up the hill. That's going to be the best spot. Even if the circle diverts to the west side of the map, we still want to play the east hills if we can get up there. And with 16 players on the map, I would assume there's probably another person up here. In fact, if my memory serves me correctly, I think when we had the advanced UAV, there was an enemy around this area. Work your way up to the high ground. Don't stay on the streets. Oh, this guy's nutty. This guy's crazy. I don't know why he stopped the vehicle right there. I don't know what the hell is going on, but he's in the center of the circle. Now we're getting a little ballsy too coming out here. Again, I'm worried about what's behind us and to our right-hand side and what's in front of us too. We're an easy target. Remember, even though enemies might not know we're here, which they should because they should see us shooting, they should hear the shots. They were also already shooting at homeboys. That means there's a lot of people out here looking at this direction also. Because before we started shooting at this guy down here, he was in the combat with someone else to the northwest side. And there's I pay attention to this right now. We got shots on the upper ground, which is on the hill to our right hand side. We need to divert from this fight. We need to divert from this fight, dude. I would go ahead and push that hole and worry about him later. He's not moving. This guy's a camping some bitch. He wants to stay down there and pray to this pole all day. I'm more worried about what's behind us and what's in front of us also. We are very vulnerable right now. This is giving me heart palpitations. Don't do this to me, guys.
Yeah, he is.
Not to mention, not only them looking down at us and shooting us. Oh no. It's also a great time to third party them while they're in combat, and we're being looked from the left hand side too. Like I said, it wasn't an immediate fight because of everything going on, because of the way he was playing. I would have just came back to him after. But we definitely have enemies now to the 152. So right now we have an enemy team to our left hand side and an enemy team in front of us, and we're at the low ground. Again, not really a fan of this spot,
above us here.
but unfortunately we're dealt this hand, and this is what we got to do. There he is, moving from the rock right now. Oh my god, he just drop shot you with a sniper, or someone else snipe you? What an animal. As he's dropping, we get down. All right, good shit, dude. Good shit. CJ able to get the kill on the guy who's an absolute unit, drop shotting while... What an animal. All right, again, worry about the guys left hand side right there. Is kind of always analyze what's going on the map. We saw him shooting earlier. You definitely don't want to forget the enemy. Oh, we get shot too. Oh my god.
One down over there on the hill.
Okay.
So right now orange looks like he's shooting at a whole different team. He got the knock and the execution. We got one knock, and we're trying to get his teammate also. Very hard to spot the enemy, unfortunately.
That's it. We got him.
I feel you, bro. Look. All right, so Savage, was he supposed to execute that guy? Yeah, go for the execution. If you can't see the enemy, he's not shooting at you, and you see the guy crawling into the bushes, go ahead for the execute. I'm not against executing players when you're safe to do so. So make sure you are safe to do so, or I'll slay you.
Here, you need plates.
But ladies and gentlemen, here we are now. When it looked so grim and so bleak, and there were 3 teams that were fighting at once by this bridge, we've now solidified this area, and it is a 2v1v1. We can do multiple things right now. Let's see how they end up playing. You could always bait it out, wait for the enemies to shoot at each other and reveal their positions, and then hunt them down, or you can just move around together and get some kills. Is there a guy in this bush right here? I saw a foot. Never mind. We're getting looked at from left hand side? Question mark. Oh, scared the shit out of me. High alert looked at from the right hand side as well. 2v1, this should be extremely easy, but again, in situations like this where it's easy, don't get too cocky and get knocked down one by one.
Where'd he go?
Got him.
Nice, good game. Let's
That was
go.
a big fucking kill game.
Woo! Seb, CJ, thank you guys for submitting the gameplay. I really hope you guys enjoyed watching this gameplay. It really was a good use of teamwork, honestly. The way that they just had roles that just coincided with each other, the way they changed their angle of approach and came at enemies from different angles, and the way they were just there to fight with each other. Just for example, by the bridge, that was a very rough spot to be in, and if they would have made one mistake, it would have cost them their lives. But they played it really well. We were looking at one team, CJ's looking at another team. They were able to handle their own great game, my dudes. But again, guys, do not forget to subscribe to the channel. Join the Wolfpack today. Also, the goal for this video is 1,500 likes. And if you guys are struggling through Warzone, you want to have your games analyzed and kind of critiqued a little bit, make sure you upload a recent match to YouTube and submit that link using the Discord page that's linked in the description below. But until next time, guys, you have a good one and good luck in Warzone.